The movie's premise centers on its protagonist called Jiangxia, who is an immortal warrior and is respected by the gods as a war commander. But in order to be the leader of all gods, he needs to pass the final test by publicly executing the movie's antagonist, a demon called the Nine-Tailed of the Fox clan, once and for all. The Nine-Tailed Fox is a demon who has been bringing destruction to mankind, moreover whose extermination is believed to restore peace and harmony to the world. When he discovers that the Nine-Tailed Fox's life is linked to the soul of an innocent girl, he is faced with a challenging decision: follow the will of heaven or find his path to righteousness. Jiangxia's doubts his past actions, and his search for the truth become invariably tied to a more personal quest to reconcile his own moral boundaries. The opening sequence begins with an intense war scene in history that includes all three realms: mortals, gods, and demons. The war was waged due to the downfall of the Shang dynasty caused by the demon the Nine-Tailed of the Fox clan. The Chaos High Gods of Jiangxi Hall sends Jiangxia, the first mortal to climb the stairway of heaven, to execute the Nine-Tailed Fox, and Jiangxia successfully captures the Nine-Tailed Fox, who is then taken to heaven for execution. Jiangxia, who is the leader of the warriors, is invited to the heavens for the final test by the High God and is given the opportunity to publicly execute the Nine-Tailed Fox in order to prove himself worthy of being the leader of all gods. During the execution, a chain the Nine-Tailed Fox emerges from the ground and is presented to Jiangxia. However, just as he is about to execute her, the Nine-Tailed Fox shows Jiangxia a vision in which she has tied herself to the soul of an innocent girl, and claims that her execution will also end the girl's life. But the High Gods warn him about the Nine-Tailed Fox's illusions and command him to execute her once and for all. Feeling incapable of harming an innocent spirit and despite God's warning, Jiangxia releases the Nine-Tailed Fox's seal, saving both the devil and the girl's life. For his defiance, higher masters banished him from Jinxu Hall. They sealed his divine powers. Moreover, they exiled him to Beihai, and he will only regain his status until he is no longer enthralled to the Nine-Tailed Fox's sorcery and illusions. The storyline is now set 10 years later, after the Great War, with a now middle-aged Jiangxia back on Earth, despondent with his friend Shen and his pet. For alike, however, even after all these years, he still refuses to believe that the girl he saw in the Nine-Tailed Fox was merely an illusion. During his visit to a bar to bargain the whip of the god and kill Noir for rice, he encounters Xiao Ju, an amnesiac young fox spirit who resembles the girl he saw during the fox spirit's execution, which leads to his doubts being cleared. Xiao Ju's identity is unknown to anyone in the bar, and she has come in search of a mysterious place where black flowers bloom. The barkeep informs her of an only mysterious place in the three realms known as Mount Yaodu. Mount Yaodu is a sacred mountain where Emperor Zhou was given the title God of Marriage, but now it is haunted by the fox devils. He shows her a map leading to Mount Yaodu but is reluctant to give her the map. Xiao Ju tricks the barkeep and tries running away with the map, but unfortunately she loses it, which is then swallowed by four alike. During a scuffle over a map, Xiao Ju accidentally exposes her fox ears, leading everyone in the bar to believe that she's the fox spirit. Jiangxia runs after her, but despite Shen's warning about not crossing the boundary, Jiangxia leaves Beihai and chases after her. Fortunately, Jiangxia corners Xiao Ju and confronts her. Moreover, he discovers a bracelet tied to Xiao Ju's ankle that belonged to the Nine-Tailed Fox. However, while escaping Jiangxia, Xiao Ju is captured by the fox devils. Fortunately, she is saved by Jiangxia. Jiangxia decides to accompany her to Yaodu Mountain, where she believes her father is waiting for her. Jiangxia and Xiao Ju embark on a journey to Mount Yaodu with Shen trailing after them. During their journey, they come across an abandoned city with wind chimes hung all over the Shang clan's land. These desolate lands are consequences of the Great War, and are haunted by nameless soldiers whose bodies were lost in battle and couldn't return home, mainly known as resentful souls. Xiao Ju attempts to steal the map several times during the journey. However, while walking through the desert, she successfully steals it when Jiangxia is distracted by a fox hunter, and she also runs away with it. While walking alone to the Yaodu Mount, Xiao Ju gets chased by nebulous zombie-like creatures, but luckily Jiangxia fights the nebulous zombie-like creature, which is surrounded by numerous dark demons, both evil fox spirits, and the souls of the lost. Unfortunately, Xiao Ju loses the map during the fight. The same night, Xiao Ju has a nightmare about waking up in a desolate city and being attacked by fox hunters who try to cut her ears off while offering a biscuit to a hungry girl. After waking up from her sleep, she shares her memories with Jiangxia about her recurring dreams, which are based mainly on her past. Concurrently, Swallow flies across the sky as restless souls have been called home, and Swallow has given them hope, while a mesmerized Xiao Ju runs after it. In the meantime, Jiangxia directs Xiao Ju to Mount Yaodu, as according to the map, the tail of the Milky Way points to Mount Yaodu. Xiao Ju, who is thankful and mesmerized by Jiangxia's memory, offer him a biscuit. After reaching the stone forest, Xiao Ju is attacked by Shen, who has been trailing them for a while. while Jiang Zia stops an enraged Shen and reveals to him that Xiao Ju is the girl he saw in the vision while executing the nine-tailed fox, while Xiao Ju finds a black flower and runs towards Mount Yaodo to find her father. At Mount, Xiao Ju is tied by Emperor Zhou, who after discovering the Lock of Destiny explains that the lock binds two spirits together inexorably and that she is tied to the original fox spirit and must be eliminated in order to fully defeat the former. Upon assuming that Xiao Ju is the nine-tailed fox, the Emperor Zhou attempts to eliminate her, but inadvertently summons the fox spirit. Moreover, Xiao Ju is captured and taken by the fox devil. Jiang Zia, alongside Shen, chases the fox spirits into the forest, where they encounter the nine-tailed fox, who has now captured Xiao Ju. She explains that the girl was Su Daji, the Zhu family's eldest daughter, and that she was also betrothed to Emperor Zhou. She once crept into Xiao Ju's ceremonial carriage and took over her body. It turns out that only the body of the nine-tailed was destroyed, and her evil spirit lived on within Ju. Ju, under the spell of the nine-tailed, has forgotten her past and is feared and rejected by humans and haunted by demons. Jiang Zia, along with Shen, manages to fight off the fox spirit together. Moreover, during the confrontation fight, Jiang Zia, who tries breaking the lock, discovers that the lock was forged by the reversed master. Simultaneously, four alike, disguised as a reindeer, fights off the nine-tailed fox and saves Xiao Ju. They successfully escape Mount Yaodu, but at the cost of the passing of four alike. Furthermore, Shen decides to sacrifice some of his power to spirit Jiang to the heavens, so he may speak to the reversed master. Once on the stairs of heaven, Jiang Zia is prevented from entering the heavens. However, after several attempts, he is finally summoned to the reversed master. The master informs him that everything Jingsu Hall does, it does with the sole aim of protecting life. He further explains that Jiang Zia is in his mind, while his compassion is scattered, and he has crushed evil instead of showing kindness. The reversed master thinks kindness shown to one person only is a sin, and that is what Jiang Zia did. He was willing to risk the fate of the world to save the girl. Jiang Zia informs the reversed master that he no longer wishes to be the god's leader, and the master reveals that once the lock of destiny is fastened, it cannot be undone in the same lifetime, and the cure is reincarnation, and he requests that Jiang Ju accompany Xiao Ju to the ruins of return. Jiang Zia, alongside Shen, takes Xiao Ju to the gate of reincarnation. However, the nine-tailed fox has trailed them to the ruins of return. Shen asks Jiang Ju to look after Xiao Ju. Meanwhile, he will stay back and will deal with the nine-tailed fox. However, the nine-tailed fox manages to fight off Shen, and in the meantime, Jiang Zia sends Xiao Ju into the Gate of Light for reincarnation. Unfortunately, the nine-tailed fox attacks Jiang Zia, which leads to an intense battle between the two. But the nine-tailed fox seemingly gets past Jiang Zia and attacks the gate. She wants the world to know the true plans of the evil reversed master. After opening the gate, the nine-tailed fox regains her power. She explains to Jiang Zia that originally, she had been promised by the master that he would make her a god. But in order to be one, she had to pay the price by binding the Fox clan to mortals. Moreover, she had to launch a war to unite the three realms. But when all was said and done, the reversed master reneged on her bargain and ordered their genocide. Furthermore, her clan was thrown into the bottomless pit. Jiang Zia attempts to save the girl, while the master sends a guillotine to eliminate her. Jiang Zia realizes his true powers are derived from his self-confidence rather than the will of heaven and appears to save the girl, only for her to be executed by guillotine. The heavens applaud Jiang Zia for eliminating the fox spirit and once again ask him to ascend to godhood. Realizing how corrupt heaven truly is, Jiang Zia destroys the bridge between the human and heavenly realms, severing the tie between the two. The movie ends with Shen telling the story of Jiang Zia to a disciple, framing him as a true hero above all others, while a young girl and a dog, reincarnations of Xiao Ju and four alike, play together. In a post-credits scene, three gods are posted to guard a heavenly prison. In another scene, Jiang Zia cooks food for the family and has dinner with mischievous Neja.